Taking the figure out of the package, I noticed the remarkable paint shading on the costume, while the gloves, boots, holster, and belt are a shinier, more saturated red, creating an appealing contrast on an otherwise entirely red costumed figure. The helmet mask is a bit brighter than the rest of the costume, and he moves like how he looks, velvety and nuanced. The joints move smoothly and there aren't egregious gaps when posing. He balances well, and his excellent articulation allows for dynamic poses and loads of fun. The package is noteworthy too. The comic art on the front corner box is a nice touch. The coup de grace is the comic art on the interior of the package. I had to mention it because it really hit that nostalgia button for me. In this box, we get 3 head sculpts, 6 pairs of hands, 2 billy clubs, and 3 billy club holsters. The package also comes with a pair of billy clubs connected with a posable wire. The wire is long and takes me some time to get it into a cool pose. And a billy club with a posable wire connected to a curved hook, like the handle end of a walking stick. Here's a pair of dynamic, outstretched hands. Here's a pair of fists. Here's a pair of grabbing hands. Here's a pair of flat hands for diving or chopping. Here's a pair of relaxed hands, and the pair of holding hands are what's on the figure now. Here are the other holsters. Here are the 2 individual billy clubs. So here's a question. Shouldn't there be an individual billy club that has the hook on it? Where does that hook come from in the posable wired billy club that has the hook? If you know how to explain the hook on the wired billy club and the absence of it on an individual billy club, please tell me in the comments. Here's the yelling head sculpt. I think this works well and shows how Mafex is improving on these open-mouthed heads. Here's the stoic head sculpt. And the grit and teeth head is currently on the figure. And my preferred head, I think, for now. And I got 2 additional accessories from Canofbeams that I'm excited about. The first one is a compact effect that simulates Daredevil's radar sense, inspired by the comics. The effect can be attached using blue tack. The second effect is super cool and is very big. What's cool is the lettering applied between the radar/waveform effect. The lettering spells out city sounds phonetically, and the beauty of it is that based on how you light it, the lettering can be subdued or enhanced. Bravo, Canofbeams! I almost forgot there's 3 holes in one area of the effect part to accommodate different stands made by different manufacturers. I didn't know this when I was filming this, but discovered their purpose when I was on Canofbeams' website. I'm going to go through this articulation quickly. His head has great range, and since there's a joint where the head meets the neck and where the neck meets the shoulders, many expressive poses are possible. His butterfly joints are superb. They allow his arms to cross his body a ton, and they swing back a really good amount. He's got a diaphragm ball joint and a waist ball joint, I think, allowing for athlete, martial arts type posing. He's also got drop-down legs and can almost do frontal splits, but more importantly, achieve acrobatic martial arts kicks. His double-hinged knees offer excellent range, as does his ankle joints. His elbows are also double hinged and his wrists have a ball hinge joint, allowing for horizontally or vertically hinged hands. This figure can achieve nuanced emotional and dynamic poses. That coupled with the wired accessories will keep you playing with it for hours. The play factor of this figure made the filming of this video take way longer than it should have. Those wired billy clubs made me really think about how to pose them, then adjust for gravity, then fine-tune for photos, amounting to a considerable amount of time. I'm really loving those effect pieces from Canofbeams. But let's move on to the size comparisons. Here's Daredevil alongside Marvel Legends Iron Fist and Luke Cage aka Power Man, his fellow New York City heroes. I think this works, and Daredevil can probably blend in with most Marvel Legends. Here he is next to a Mafex female character, Phoenix, and Iron Fist. Here he is with a prior version of Sabretooth and the newest version, Sabretooth, from the 2-pack of Wolverine and Sabretooth. As you can see, the new Sabretooth has been sized up, maybe using the Omega Red body. Though I think maybe the biceps are different, because here next to Cable and Omega Red, I see a small difference in the biceps. Cable seems unnaturally tall next to Matt. And last, we see how Daredevil compares to Mezco's Black Bolt and G.I. Joe's Snake Eyes Commando version. These all work, I think. What do you think? Now that Daredevil is my new favorite figure, I have to go get a Marvel Legends Kingpin, because I don't have one. Have you noticed no one but Marvel Legends seems to make many of the villains? While I wait for Kingpin, the great articulation and the beautiful paint job will keep me playing with this figure for a long time. This figure is a joy to play with. Full stop. I hardly ever give such an assessment, but this figure deserves it. His joints move smoothly, and I haven't had any problems other than some red paint on the white billy clubs. You should know who Daredevil is and where he comes from. According to Marvel.com, the man behind the Daredevil mask is Matt Murdock, blind attorney by day and vigilante serving justice by night. He's the child of a boxer, aka Battling Jack Murdock, and a mother who abandons the two of them early on. And as if that wasn't hard enough, Matt wasn't born blind. He became blind as a child when he saved an elderly man by pushing him out of the path of an out-of-control truck that was carrying radioactive material. This radioactive material spilled onto Matt's eyes during this incident, blinding him. Matt soon encounters a blind martial arts master named Stick, who teaches him to develop his remaining senses to eventually become a devastating fighter. The father, Jack, gets mixed up with a local crime boss, who eventually has Jack killed. When the justice system fails to convict the crime boss, Matt begins his hero's journey by going to law school to fight crime within the legal system. By night, however, he adopts the nickname other children taunted him with, Daredevil, and dons a costume to hide his identity to deliver vigilante justice on the streets of Hell's Kitchen, a neighborhood in New York City, in case you didn't know. You can suffocate evil, starve it, lock it behind bars, but it will find a way to come back even stronger. Matt Murdock. Save an action figure from having to be sold by liking and subscribing to this channel.